Hey there, everyone. It's Dr. Yam. It's another Biz Tip Tuesday. How is everyone today? All right, so we're going to start right into our session. So, welcome everyone. If you haven't already done so, make sure you either grab your Biz Journal. You can always circle back in the replay. There will be some links in the bottom here for any resources that I might be referencing over the course of the session. So, let's get busy. So, as we know, inside of our Content Creation Tips and More Facebook group, for those of you who are not already members, the focus of our group is centered around content marketing. What strategies, what tips can you use and apply to grow your business? And today we're going to be focusing on email. So let's get busy. Now, today is all about how are you making your first impression to your subscribers? When you are launching an offer, it's all great and good that they click and they opt in. And you've ever heard the term, the riches are in the niches? Well, the fortune is in the follow up. And so, what are you doing to master making sure that you are nurturing and making a really good first impression with your intended audience, those people who have trusted you enough to give you their email address? So today, I'm going to walk you through 5 suggested first emails that you should consider using. This is not the way, but a way that you can apply and put this into practice today. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Let me just double test everything because sometimes Facebook doesn't want to be good to me online. So I want to make sure that you guys, I'm coming through clear with you guys. And just double checking. All right. Yep, it's coming through. I want to make sure. There we go. All right. Thank you for that. Excuse the buzz. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. We'll get right into it. You'll see a link in the description of today's session where you can follow along with me. And I'm also going to post it here in the banner, and I'll have it to scroll for you guys so you can see it. Let me make it a scrolly. Let me make it a ticker tape. There you go. Okay, so as you're watching for today, we're going to be utilizing this particular tool. If you haven't already gotten your free template, then here's the link where you can have access to that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to go right into my tab. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe not. It won't let me. All right. So here's something to consider first and foremost. A welcome email sequence, as I like to call them, in which you'll hear terminology of sort, right, is again, it's that first impression that you are making as your brand, as your company with your new customer. And so it could be a blogging subscriber, it could be a newsletter subscriber, but a welcome email can deliver by video, your special offers, your sign up forms, or just a friendly hello to establish a relationship with your new contact. Did you know that welcome emails have an open rate of 50%, making them 86% more effective than a newsletter? So when you send a welcome email to a new blog or newsletter subscriber or to that new customer who just opted in and purchased something from you, you want to make a really good first impression on behalf of your brand. And because at the end of the day, it's all about messaging and how you're valuing the relationship first and foremost. So just using a simple template like the one I'm getting ready to walk through with you guys for that new subscriber on your list. Again, you'll just be able to download it. It's in, I think I have it as a PDF, and then you can simply just copy it, edit it, as well as I'll walk you through each one. And then you can use the sequence to build a greater relationship with those new subscribers and automatically take them through the next step in your sales funnel, right? So there's always a purpose and an intent around everything. And you certainly want to be able to use it for other entry points as well. It's generic enough for any type of business. And again, you just need to make the necessary tweaks that's going to make it work for you. So no offense on my part. I just give you some resources that you can get started. Now, if you do not have an email automation system, please let me know that you're not using anything at this current moment. No worries. Let me know in the comments that you don't currently have a subscription tool, and I can point you in the right direction with respect to that as well. And again, you can make all the bells and whistles as you want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead here and let's share my screen. And okay, sorry guys, I don't know why it's not. Alrighty, so let's get on to the share screen here. And alrighty, so email number 1. Welcome. And here's what I promise. So again, the purpose around this particular email goal is to deliver on the promise of the whatever resource that that person signed up for that you were supposed to receive in exchange for that sign up, okay? And that you are priming them, okay, for what's going to come next in the sequence at the same time, right? You email sequences are all about, especially the first one, that's why it's really important, is that you're trying to establish a set of behaviors that you want your new subscriber to do on before you, right? So you got to train them. Don't make assumptions people know how they want you're going to act with them. You're new to this relationship, so you've got to handhold them through the process of how they expect to have a relationship with you. Okay, so in this particular case, I give you a subject line. Again, you can edit it, but it works. And it's just just one more step, right? And here you'll notice I've given you fill in the blanks. So here, thanks for signing up for a copy of blank or whatever they signed up for. Change the language, right? And after you go through it, you'll be able to do what? What was the promise on that email or that particular item that they downloaded? You want to fill in that blank, right? Because you're refreshing their memory. Because typically this is the email, the first one they're going to get after they get their download or soon after when you time it in your email automation. Okay. And then again, as a part, you're addressing that pain point. This means that you'll finally be able to do what? What was the offer and the solution that they bought into? Okay. And if you weren't already excited, I hope you know you are now. So again, just trying to have personality, making a person-to-human connection with them. And then here's if you needed to, here's a link again to remind them to download. Sometimes you may have an immediate access to download a particular item or get it. It's always good just to follow up and give them it again, because you don't know if they're working off of their phone, a tablet, on a desktop, wherever they are, but they all should have access to that link again. Again, always making an inference that if they ever have any questions, you want to be able to invite them in to ask and reply to the email. Again, keeping it personal. And then you're going to also, and here's the primer, right? Here's what you're going to say. You'll also get some more of my blank, right? So again, what are you going to be feeding them over the next couple of days? Remember, you're setting an expectation for them so that they can expect to get something for you. This is not a one and done. Okay. So what are they next going to get from you? All right. And over the next few days. So again, keep an eye out. So you've dropped that seed in their head. And again, excited to have you as a new subscriber, new owner, new whatever. Okay. That's going to be email number 1 in an email sequence. All right. So they get to get that same day as they subscribe, or maybe the day right after. You get to make that determination. You know your audience better than anyone. All right. Let me just double check, make sure I don't have any questions. Anybody? Okay, good. Just double checking on that. All righty. So here's the next question, the next email. All right. So now Email number 2. Here's where you get to make your bond. Here is about introducing yourself and finding out again what's the real problem. Like you might know what their problem was, but do you really know? Now you get to kind of dig a little deeper because as much market research you may have done, you might have your avatar for your target audience. It's always good to just kind of reinforce or affirm, right? That you are in line with where their needs are. Okay. So in this particular email, number 2 is getting your subscriber to reply about that problem that they have. And this is going to give you that valuable feedback that you're going to need for your artist. And then you can develop and be more personalized with their relationship with you. So do a little cute email line, subject line here. Oops, my bad. Again, eye catching. People will kind of figure it out. Okay. And then you kind of just start with a cute relationship. I probably owe you an apology because yesterday I gave you blank that might have been a little bit rude, right? Because I didn't really introduce myself, but you did that on purpose. Okay. So it was just, I was in a rush to deliver what I had, said I was going to do and forgot to introduce myself and find out more about you. So here again, can I get a do over? If so, I got a little something special for you if you read this through. So again, enticement kind of falls into play. So here are 3 things you probably don't know about me. Again, building the relationship. Number 1, something personal. Number 2, again, something personal. And then number 3 is I'm on a mission to help what? So this goes back to that mission statement, your intent, your purpose, why you do what you do. And then here again is you can change this language around the routine and the repetition that you want. Every week you'll get a blank, or is it every month you'll get a blank? Whatever your promise is about what they can expect from you as a part of this journey in building this relationship with them since they've already trusted you with their email address. And then we go on with the letter. The bottom line is I'm here to help you to meet that particular goal. And with that in mind, could you email me back? And yes, people will email you, okay? If they're really interested in making a change and they see that you may be the problem solver, they will hit the reply button. And so here you get to ask them, reply to this email and just let me know. What's the hardest blank? Like, what are they really struggling with? You need to know that. You can't operate your business off a set of assumptions. Okay. So you want to be able to keep that in mind. And then the letter just goes on to say, send me your reply and I will personally respond to it and give you any tips or resources that can help you do that. And hopefully you'll get our relationship off on the right foot. Right. And again, keep your eye out for the next email. I'm going to send you my best strategy. Again, you're over promising, not you're under promising, but you're over delivering on the promise that got them in the door in the first place. And again, thank them again for signing up. And then you do your signature, whatever it is. All right. That, my friends, is email number 2. All right. So we've got them in the door. You said hello and thank you and welcome. Oh, we got comments here. Let me make sure. I don't know what this is, but I'm going to. Oh, that's somebody on YouTube. Okay. Then we have email number 3. So let's go through that one. So we've gotten them in the door. You said a little cheeky introduction, a little bit more about who you are, what you're able to do, and then you want to delve into their personal pain point. So now let's go into email number 3. Here's where you get to solve their problem a little bit, right? So the goal here in this particular email is you're going to help your subscribers solve one of their most common problems as you would presume because you already know your avatar, right? And you're going to find helpful content to train them to continue to open and read your emails. Again, remember, we're training them, okay? So subject line, sound familiar? And then we go on with our template. Most blank, I know, can't stand blank. So here goes the problem solving that you know based on your avatar. Most coaches I know can't stand what? Can't stand doing social media posts. because that may be what my challenge, that might be what my particular offer is for my social media management platform, right? So heck, I can't stand them either, right? Because that's why you know it's a problem. And then for a long time, I thought I had to deal with it. Some problems aren't fixable, right? So again, this is conversational too. So the great thing about email automations and your email sequencing is yes, it is digital, but you can still try to make it as personal and conversational as possible. So you want to come across with that type of tone. All right. And then you go on with your conversation with them. Well, it turns out that that's not the case at all. And with this email, I'm going to show you 2 steps that you can take immediately to avoid this problem once and for all. And so here again, you solve the problem in the email, add value. You hear me? Adding value so they can get another quick takeaway for themselves that they can put it right into practice. So what will that be for whatever it is that you opted in for? That rather they opted in for the reason for that lead magnet, newsletter, whatever the subject matter is. So again, step 1, and then the key to step 1 is what? What is your fill in the blank for that? And then here again, those 2 quick tips, what could they be? And you want to fill them in. Okay. That's going to be your add value. You've got to be able to add value and over deliver. That's part of building the relationship. Because if they see that you know what you're talking about, because remember, you're the expert, then they'll feel comfortable when it comes times for the offer that you're taking them through your sales funnel. You've got to build on this. They're not going to just buy it just because it's you. No, doesn't work that way. All right. Now, those 2 steps seem pretty small, right? Again, doable, digestible, nothing should be, it should be quick and easy for them to do. So think about what that could be and chunk it down as quickly as possible for them. And then what makes that's what makes them so great. Okay, you're filling in that this is doable, people. And with just a small investment, you can eliminate blank, right? So again, the time investment in this particular case, they took action, they can apply it and say, yeah, this actually worked for me. All right. Okay, so now you just train them, gave them a little to do, they put it into practice. And now you're saying, okay, so tomorrow I'm going to send you one of my favorite quick wins. Keep an eye out. Again, you're training them. And then you give them your signature goodbye. That's email number 3. Are you with me? All right, let me double check. All righty, good. If you got any questions, just make sure you tap it below. Okay, peoples? All right. Now let's go on to email number 4. Put one together for you guys. Now, here again, surprise bonus resource. Okay, again, this is an email is to provide even more value to that subscriber by helping them solve another common problem. Remember, when you're thinking about that avatar and you've built it out properly, you already know what those pain points are. There should be identified at least 3 major pain points of why people need what you have to offer, that you're filling the void for. And this is just a micro process of how you're able to problem solve for them. Not the big picture solution, a mini one. Okay, so you're going to give them maybe a link to a free resource that you already have created, like a blog post. Maybe it's another lead magnet, or it's just a simple video. You get to decide, but you get to figure out what that may be for your solution. Okay, but that's the nature of this next email. Okay, a bonus resource. Remember, over deliver, but don't complicate it. Keep it simple. All right. So here, let's go through email number 4. All right. So with email number 4, surprise, have a little something extra for you. Again, building a relationship, keeping it conversational. Remember a couple emails back when I told you that about the hardest part of X? Remember the nature of the pain point? And by far, the most popular response I get from subscribers is blank. Put those popular responses by. What are the people complaining about when they hit that reply button? They ask what was the hardest thing. Use that data to be a part of the content that you are creating so people understand you're not the only person who has a problem with that. That's how you build that out. Okay. And then continue on with the conversation. Trust me, I've been there. But that's why today I'm sending you a free resource that I'd probably be lost without. So, what are something that you use, that you put into practice, and then you want to share it with them? Blank or some simple tool I use every time I blank. Okay, again, your problem solving. So, what tip, what tool, what strategy could that be? And it's helpful. It's going to help you to do three things. Again, filling the void for them. What could that be? I know that sometimes you're not thinking like that, but this is what, again, adding value is, and you're training your people, and you're just giving them a little extra. So there's how you can, this particular resource is going to help them to do that. It could be as simple as a blog post. It could be as simple as a checklist. It could be as simple as an ebook. It could be an audio, anything that's going to be helpful to them. Okay. Next, so that's essentially what E4 email number 4 is all about. Give them that additional resource for free, all right, that they can opt into. Okay, and so again, you hope that helps. If they have any questions, feel free to connect with you, right? And again, give your signature goodbye. All right, that's email number 4. So again, you're nurturing the relationship 4 days down the line. I do suggest that you do this like in a daily sequence. And this is separate and apart from when you trigger the nurturing emails or your ongoing emails for your newsletters and such. Okay, like I have a weekly newsletter for one of my brands. I have a monthly newsletter for something else. So whatever that sequence, this is separate and apart from that. Okay. And if you trigger it properly, then they would not get that particular email sequence until they've gone through here. So that's how you would trigger. You can order your sequences in that way, depending on what email automation system that you have. But most of them operate in the same way. Okay. All righty. Let's double check where we are. Make sure I have any questions. We're good. All righty. Perfect. So we now round out to email. Did we do something here? Oh, fix that. We go in, we round out to email number 5. All right, so this is email number 5. 5. All right, so here, next steps. Again, building a relationship, training their behaviors. So the purpose of the goal of this particular email is to get your subscribers to take action on the next step in your funnel. Whether it's going to be that they purchase a product, that they register for a webinar, that they book a call with you, or anything that's going to get them closer to becoming a paying customer. Okay. Because if they followed you along to this point and you're coming into that next step in your funnel, then there's a likelihood they're going to buy because you have over delivered and you have given them resources that are going to help them with their business, and you're showing that you care. That, my friends, is how the last email works for you. So in this particular case, here's our subject line. You're gonna someday list. This is not guilt tripping, but just stay with me. See if I can make this a little bigger. Can I? Okay. We all have one. Again, staying conversational. That list of things that you need to have done, been putting it off too long, on what we call the gonna someday list. And I can probably guess what's on the top of yours. If you're like 99% of subscribers on my list, it's this. Again, state that common dilemma that you know your intended target audience is facing, that is going to be connected to your next step in the funnel. All right. I know this because it used to be on the top of my gonna someday list. So for a long time, I had no idea how to go about blank. Remember, your problem solving. What's your solution and your problem, that pain point. I didn't want to come off as blank and compromise the relationship. So what finally helped me break through, again, is the question you're asking yourself to them in this conversation. And then you just basically tell them, this is the steps that I took. right? Because one of the things about doing what you do is the problem solver is either you've experienced this yourself and you then did a turnaround, and this is why you're able to help other people because you've had a similar experience. All right. So you want to be able to share that story with them, your storytelling. All right. So give yourself the space to do that. And then you go back on, then once you've kind of explained to them the steps that you took to, I hit the roadblock, this is what I was able to do as a result of that. And then you finish off, you continue, I should say, with all because I spent a small amount of time moving something from my Gonna Someday list to my Booyah Baby list, right? Then I want to help you to do the same thing. So again, remember, you're the problem solver. And then you get to introduce them to your offer, your next offer in your funnel. So that's why I created blank. What is the next thing in your funnel? As I noted before, it's a chance for you and me to do what? And by the end, again, what's the promise as a result of you completing that particular experience with them? And then you give them the details right here. And you want to make your Gonna Someday happen now. And then done. And you're sending that off. That is email number 5. So you have taken them from a hello to a I'm going to take you down to the next level in a learning event sequence with you, whatever that part of the relationship you want to have them to enter into. Maybe it's a webinar, maybe it's a coaching session, a one-on-one coaching, paid coaching session, maybe it's a 5-day challenge, whatever you see fit. Okay, so that is how you get to intentionally take people through an email sequence that is made to build, or rather, I should say, to transform them from just not a reader and a taker, right, of your resource, but that you can convert them into a paying customer. Simple as that. All righty. All right, so there, my friends, are your 5 emails over 5 days. Your template is below. See this little link right there? Click on it, or I put it inside of the chat as well, and you can download the template yourself and then have at it, put it in, and let me see that. In fact, when you're doing your email sequence as a result of watching today's video and you put it into practice, or if you have any questions, for instance, if you do not know anything about email automation whatsoever, please let me know. And then we can have that conversation. If you don't have a good tool for your email automations, let me know what you're using for your email automations in the comments as well. I'd love to hear about that as well. And if you have your email tool and you downloaded this template and you put it into action, share your finished results. If you want some feedback on the language, everything, put it into our group. For those of you, if you haven't already done so, you can visit us over here in the Content Creation Tips and More group. Just go to smallbizsociety.com. You'll join us over there. And inside is where you get to have access to me and any Q&As or questions that you may have as a result of today's coaching session. And if you haven't already done so, you can visit over at my website, keepitsimplecoach.info. There you'll see my blog, and there's an opportunity if you want to do any one-on-one sessions as well. Now, if you happen to be an aspiring entrepreneur, meaning that you have not launched your business yet, then no problem whatsoever. Head on over to busy9to5ershive.com, and that's where I'm helping aspiring entrepreneurs, your busy 9-to-5ers who want to go from employee to entrepreneur with a little bit of help. And so there is where you'll be able to find myself as well. So if you haven't already done so, get today's resource. And that will take us into the end of Biz Tip Tuesdays. Hope you found this to be helpful. Until then, let's get busy. Bye.